Every dream hides a secret. Every secret has a price. In the final months of the 20th century, the world's most mysterious filmmaker released his last and most haunting work. Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut is more than a movie. It's a labyrinth. Beneath the soft glow of New York's winter lights lies a story of mass, lust, jealousy, and fear. But behind the story lies something else. A coded farewell from a director obsessed with control, truth, and the fragile line between fantasy and corruption. Kubrick had built his legacy on precision. 2001, A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, The Shining. But Eyes Wide Shut was different. It felt personal, intimate, even dangerous, as if the film itself knew more than it should. When it finally arrived in 1999, audiences expected scandal. What they got was a riddle that still whispers to this day. Kubrick never explained his films. He constructed them like puzzles. For Eyes Wide Shut, he cast the most public couple in Hollywood, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. In real life, they were married. On screen, they became Dr. Bill and Alice Harford, a couple whose perfect surface begins to crack after a confession one quiet night. Kubrick filmed for over 400 days, the longest continuous shoot in movie history. Scenes were rebuilt, lighting adjusted to perfection, entire performances reshot for micro shifts in emotion. The result was a dream logic where nothing felt stable. Rooms too long, faces too calm, music too slow. Kubrick wanted viewers to feel trapped inside the same fevered haze that consumed his characters. Composer Jocelyn Pook's haunting score, built around dissonant piano notes and a ghostly choir, lingered like a half-remembered nightmare. And the camera, slow, deliberate, unblinking, moved like a voyeur wandering through the subconscious of a marriage. Dr. William Bill Harford and his wife Alice live in New York City with their daughter Helena. At a Christmas party hosted by Bill's patient, Victor Ziegler, Bill reconnects with his former medical school classmate, Nick Nightingale, now a professional pianist. Meanwhile, an older Hungarian guest attempts to seduce Alice, while two young models try to seduce Bill. Victor interrupts Bill's flirtation to handle an emergency involving Mandy, a young woman who overdosed during sex with him. Bill helps stabilize Mandy. The following night, Bill and Alice smoke marijuana and discuss their unfulfilled desires. Bill dismisses the idea of Alice being unfaithful, believing women to be naturally loyal. However, Alice shocks him by confessing to fantasizing about a naval officer she observed while on vacation, even considering leaving Bill and Helena for him. Disturbed, Bill is called to a patient's home, where the patient's daughter, Marion, confesses her love and tries to seduce him. Bill resists and leaves. Wandering the city, Bill meets a prostitute named Domino. Before anything happens, Alice calls, prompting Bill to leave after paying Domino without proceeding further. Later, Bill encounters Nick at a jazz club. Nick tells Bill about a secretive gig at 2 a.m., where he will play piano blindfolded and reveals the password to gain entry. Intrigued, Bill visits a costume store, formerly owned by one of his patients but now run by Mr. Milich, to rent an outfit. During the visit, Milich discovers his teenage daughter with two older men and locks them in a room, threatening to call the police. Bill arrives at the mansion, provides the password, and witnesses a bizarre sexual ritual. A masked woman warns him that he is in danger. He is taken to a gathering where the master of ceremonies demands a second password. Bill is exposed as an outsider. The masked woman intervenes, offering herself to save him. Bill is let go with a stern warning to remain silent. Shaken, Bill returns home to find Alice laughing in her sleep. She tearfully recounts a dream of having sex with the naval officer and many other men while mocking Bill. The next day, Bill visits Nick's hotel, but the clerk claims Nick was taken away by two threatening men. Returning the costume, Bill notices the mask is missing and learns that Milish now profits from prostituting his daughter, offering her services to Bill. Consumed by jealousy and doubt, Bill revisits the mansion but receives an envelope warning him to stay away. That evening, he tries calling Marion but hangs up when her fiancé answers. He then visits Domino's apartment only to find her roommate, Sally, who informs him that Domino has tested HIV positive. As Bill leaves, a mysterious figure follows him. Later at the morgue, he identifies Mandy as the masked woman from the orgy after reading about her death from an overdose. Victor summons Bill and admits to being at the orgy. He explains that there was no second password and that Bill's exposure was deliberate. Victor insists the secret society only seeks to intimidate him into silence, but warns they are dangerous. He claims Nick has returned safely to Seattle and attributes Mandy's death to her drug addiction, dismissing foul play. Returning home, Bill finds the missing mask placed on his pillow. Breaking down in tears, he confesses everything to Alice. The next day, the couple takes Helena shopping for Christmas. Bill apologizes to Alice, who suggests they take action to repair their relationship. When he asks what she means, Alice responds with a single word: fuck. Then came the shock. Before its release, Eyes Wide Shut ignited panic among censors. Its portrayal of secret societies and ritualistic gatherings sparked rumors that Kubrick had uncovered something forbidden. Warner Brothers digitally altered scenes for the US release, adding computer-generated shadows to obscure parts of the imagery, not for modesty, but to secure an R rating instead of the dreaded NC-17. In some countries, entire sequences were cut or blurred. Others delayed the release altogether. Critics debated endlessly. Was it art or exploitation? Satire or confession? And then the tragedy: Kubrick died just 6 days after delivering his final cut. He never saw its premiere, never defended its meaning. That single fact fed decades of speculation. Some said he'd revealed too much about hidden elites. Others insisted he'd simply pushed his obsession with psychological realism as far as it could go. Whatever the truth, the controversy eclipsed the film itself for a while. Time changes everything, even a mystery. When the noise faded, scholars began to re-examine Eyes Wide Shut, not as scandal, but as Kubrick's farewell to cinema. Beneath its erotic tension lies a meditation on fidelity, guilt, and the masks people wear to survive intimacy. The title becomes the key: Eyes Wide Shut. To see the truth and still refuse it. The film mirrors late-century paranoia, the sense that behind wealth and beauty, something hollow hums in secret. Cruise's steady unraveling, a man chasing temptations only to find emptiness, turned from moral panic to masterpiece in hindsight. Kidman's performance, quiet and hypnotic, became the emotional center. A woman confronting desire without shame, fear, or lies. In the decades since, the movie has been dissected frame by critics, psychologists, and conspiracy theorists alike. Some see hidden messages about class and ritual, others a dream collapsing under jealousy. But perhaps the real secret is simpler. Kubrick built a world where love and fear are the same emotion, just inverted. Today, Eyes Wide Shut stands as a cinematic requiem, not only for a marriage, but for a filmmaker who turned truth itself into an optical illusion. And then the dream ends. The final words of the film are spoken in a toy store, ordinary, harmless, almost absurd. Yet behind them lingers the echo of everything unseen. Kubrick left us staring at a mirror we still don't understand. Was Eyes Wide Shut a confession, a warning, or simply the final experiment of a man who spent his life chasing perfection? No one knows. Kubrick never told us. What remains is the silence, and the eyes still wide, still searching.